Hi. Oh, it's lighter. Hi, Daryl. I hope it's light enough. I can't tell so well. Are you the only one here, Daryl? Thank you. Well, you are here and I'm here. So tell me what's going on in Tennessee. It's cold outside. That's why I'm not outside. Good morning, Samina. Thank you for tuning in. I am just going to grab my links here until we get somebody on that's moderating. And I'm still hoping everybody buys a Late Bloomer t-shirt and helps support this channel. I am also using my essential oils as usual. Much needed today. I seem to have TMJ, which I've never really had in my life. And I'm wondering if anybody else has suffered from that and what they did about it. Here are all my links, ways to support this channel. Good morning, Lisa. How is the connectivity up in Oregon? Transplanting your wineberries where, Daryl? Jack, it's cold for here, okay? And I will look that up, actually. All I did was, let's see, Fiersa Librani is wishing me a happy belated birthday. And I hope she tunes into the live stream. Sorry, I got distracted. Temperature, it is 52 and beautiful. And I know that's probably very balmy for some people out there, but it's just a little too chilly for me to sit in that metal chair for, yes, I do put a pad there, but it's a little chilly for me to sit there for an hour. So I decided to be inside today. I wanted to give a shout out to my neighbor, Terry, who was out walking her dog this morning. She is one of the only neighbors that watch my channel regularly, and I am so grateful. Who else is here? Felix is tuning in from Bergen, Norway. Good morning, Felix. How old are you now, if you don't mind my asking? I can ask you because you're young. Can't ask me. Ooh, you're in Northern California, Lisa. Okay. Oh, that's going to be beautiful, Daryl. 14. And Felix, do you remember when we did the very first video? When you sent me the video, you sent me one and I said I wanted it to be a little bit better. You sent me another one. When was that? Was that about 4 years ago? Were you 12? No, were you 10 then? Anyway, guys, I have this wonderful video. No, wait, that was in a different one. Oh, which video was that in? I had some clips from young people, and they sent them to me from around the world. And one was from Germany, one was from Felix. Can you believe Felix has been following my channel for at least 5 years? Good morning, Steve. I think you changed you corrected. Yeah, I see that you corrected your. Thank you, Jamila. Good morning, Steve. Yes, everybody, don't rely on notifications for my live streams. They will go up at 8 a.m. until further notice on Sundays. So be ready. Don't wait for your notification because, it could go out late. Although if it just went out, that's only about 3 minutes late. So that's not too bad. I've heard worse. Let's see. Jack texted me, Jack Rudden from Maryland, who is a budding meteorologist, young man and avid gardener, has all of these plants in his bedroom. And he texted me this morning and he said, can I grow a Granny Smith apple in a pot? And I really don't know the answer to that. Does anybody else know? I know that I'm growing a golden Dorset in a pot, but I don't know how long it's going to be happy in a pot. Good morning, Brian. I have Brian's letter here. I was saving Brian's letter. He sent me a letter, and I was thinking that it was something to do with my birthday, which was Valentine's Day, everybody, in case you missed it. And no, in fact, he was sending me an SASE, which is a self-addressed stamped envelope for the young people who aren't familiar with that term, for some loofah seeds. And I literally, oh, you have no idea. I moved my seeds over to my apartment 2 days ago. So I'll be over there today, and I'll get some seeds, Brian, and I'll send them to you. That's Brian at Jersey's Garden. Good morning, Deborah. How are you? Little Farmer's Farm, Tony in okay, I'm just blanking for a moment. Ben Erickson, oh my gosh, Ben Erickson just liked a photo of mine on Instagram, and he has been following me. Ben is in Canada, and he is another young man that's been following me for a very long time. Who else is here? Steve, good morning. Hi-lo, Milo, greetings from the White Rose City, New York, Pennsylvania. The White Rose City, York, Pennsylvania, second-year gardener, and I will say your videos. Thank you so much, Hi-lo, Milo. I really appreciate that. I am going to be moving to a place where my very good friend is an avid rose grower. She grows roses in pots, but she has so many, and they decorate the corridor between the two buildings where I'm going to be living. And good morning, Kevin in Florida. Manchester. Yes, I knew that. Good morning, Connie. While Connie is saying good morning, everyone, this is funny. Connie sent me a birthday card. And Connie, we've never met. Connie is strictly a Late Bloomer fan that follows me on social media and YouTube. And she sent me this beautiful, look at this beautiful card. Peonies are my absolute favorite flower, but you rarely see them. And of course, I'm not going to even attempt to grow them. They're very, very, I think they last for a very short while as cut flowers. Kaye, on your birthday and always, happy birthday and Valentine's Day. Happy gardening on your new steps in life. Your YouTube fan, Connie. And I put together a composite photo and posted it on Instagram and shared this photo, which was taken, I believe Walker on the right was 15. And he's 29 now. And that's me and my sons. This is Walker, and this is Will. And he's 29, and he's 24. And I shared that, and she could see her card. Connie could see her card on my Instagram post, and she said next time she'll use better handwriting. And I thought it's so funny because today they don't even teach in public school, and I'm assuming this is across the country. Certainly it is in Los Angeles. They do not teach cursive in 3rd grade anymore. And if you're a little bit older, like me, you remember that we learned to print on the very rigid little dotted line in between the two lines. Christina's a teacher. She hasn't tuned in yet. And we in 1st grade we learned that, and then in 3rd grade we made the big leap to cursive. And, I used to have beautiful handwriting. And the more you use a computer, the quicker it goes. And I'm concerned that, in future, world leaders won't even have a signature. In fact, at one time I thought, my son was a really top junior tennis player and actually got recruited to Stanford because of his efforts, and got a partial scholarship. And I said, Walker, when you're going to be playing these matches, you may need to be signing some autographs, and you need an autograph. You need a signature. And he did learn cursive because he's older, and so did Will. But they just young people just resort back to printing now. It's so slow. Good morning, Dolly Perry. Oh no. Oh, okay. Dolly is asking me the really huge, big question. And let me just address that for a moment, because a lot of people who saw my video this morning, I've already read a lot of the comments from good morning, Haffy. John Haffenecker is, I don't know if I pronounced that right. We call him Haffy from Colorado. He's one of our moderators. He's just tuned in. And a lot of people saw my second video filmed over at my new apartment, and they don't understand, because historically I've been talking about wanting a bigger place. And just in case you don't know, Los Angeles is very, very expensive. It's in a very expensive place to live. There are and location. If you want to be in a good location, it costs a fortune. So this property has to be sold, not my choice. Don't want to go into all that, but so I want, until it's sold and I have money to buy something, I have to have a landing place, and that means in this city an apartment. And so this was my choice. I might have been able to find a guest house with a little garden or something if I had really searched for a while, but I chose to move into an apartment building where I have like family, dear friends, which you'll be seeing, and 2 little girls. I never had any girls, and wanted a girl really bad. Didn't have a daughter because, my mother passed down all of her handwork skills, even her limited gardening. She, all of that she passed down to me. Sewing, and, however well I cook, I think I'm a pretty good cook when I'm actually cooking. But all of that stuff was passed down to me. And of course, I would love to pass that down to a girl, but I didn't have one. And so there are 2 little girls just waiting for me to teach them how to sew and all this. And they're just right across the way. So I made that choice to go there, even though there's no chance of planting anything in the ground there. The soil is so void of life that the only thing that will grow are succulents. And if you saw the video this morning, you get a peek out the window of the courtyard, and it's all succulents and palms and all that sort of thing. So it's lovely, but the only gardening I'll be able to do there is in containers. And so, of course, it takes a while to sell a house and to get the money and all that. And so when that money is freed up, I hope to be able to buy my sort of retirement / homestead place in Tennessee, where all of my family is. And now that my son Walker is in Austin, Texas, Austin is a lot closer to Nashville than it is out here. And he's never coming back to California. He's made that perfectly clear. It's too expensive. Oh. Oh my gosh, you guys are making great connections. Daryl said he grew up in Red Rose City. Oh, so I guess Pennsylvania is known for roses if there's White Rose City and Red Rose City. Good morning, Roman. Where are you writing from? I recognize your name. And Odalis Ramos, Toms River, New Jersey. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Odalis Ramos. And good morning to Toms River, New Jersey. He says he loves watching my videos in my home, and he hopes I continue bringing us episodes on YouTube. And that is what I was going to say to Dolly. So I'm going through this huge process, and I'm so glad that your cancer fighting is done. And I hope you're in remission and you stay that way. And so I'm going through this huge transition. This was not something I expected or wanted, but I am trying to make the best of it, and I am trying to age gracefully and bear this change and transition with aplomb. Remember that word? I don't think people use that word much anymore. Aplomb, A-P-L-O-M-B, I believe. And it hasn't been easy. I know that the day I have to turn over the keys and I have to hug my trees goodbye is going to rip my heart right out of my throat. But you know what? A young mom is moving in here, and with I think a baby, if it all goes well, if all contingencies are removed, and I won't know that for sure until the 26th of February. So I've got till the 26th. What I've been doing, because I have so much stuff, I have 40 years of my life, and I've been involved in so many crafts over the years. I made all of my clothes when I lived in New York. I sewed like a maniac. And so I have all those that I just refuse to get rid of. And then I knitted like a mad woman when my son, I used to knit and crochet when I was young, like early 20s. And then I stopped for a few years, quite a few years, 15 years I stopped. And in that time, yarns and needles went through this revolution. And so when I came back to it, when Will was in the Waldorf school, his kindergarten teacher said, "You really should be knitting. Your children need to see you knitting." And I go, "Oh, okay, well, I'll knit a scarf." Oh my gosh, I knitted one scarf, and then I never looked back. In fact, don't look in here, it's a disaster. I haven't even started those drawers. But guess what? That, and that cabinet are empty, and all of that has been moved. It's in boxes sitting in the living room, but it's been moved. This was the first one. Now, you may wonder, what the heck is that? That is a sculpture that I made in college. We had to have a general art degree, you had to take one sculpture class or something. And so I made an iron piece that was welded that looks like a sailboat. I really love that. And I made, I can't even talk about this plaster thing that I made. But then I made this, which is a male mannequin type thing. And it's just been sitting around, and it's heavy as you can just imagine. It's on this big, heavy block on the bottom, and there's an iron pole that runs through the middle, and the whole thing is plaster, and it just weighs a ton. And so it's still sitting in my garage. I haven't been able to get rid of it. But when I was doing knitting, I decided to have it model all of my knitting. And that was the first thing I knitted. That was one yarn. It was a multi-color yarn. And then I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but my sons were small. I knitted that vest for one of my sons, and I think he wore it once. And then, of course, this is my aardvark that I made, which I just love. And you'll be seeing that at my new apartment. It's been sitting in my stairwell for 2 decades. So just so many of these scarves and purses and sweaters. I made this sweater in 2000. I started knitting this at a tennis tournament down in Orange County. Walker was playing a tennis tournament. And I always found it to keep me occupied. I was so nervous when he would play that if I could knit, then I would stay sane. I made that for him and he wore it once. That's a zippered neck. And oh, here's my elephant. That's my elephant. I had these scraps left over from something and I decided to make my elephant. Oh, there they are in their first knitted. And that's another vest I made for him. And there's the blue sweater. I made him pose in it just one time. But it's just like on and on. I mean, just so many scarves and sweaters. And then I stopped photographing. I kept making them. So it would be really nice to hand some of these crafts down. Now, as long as we're on crafts, I know I need to catch up here. But I wanted to just, because it was Valentine's Day this week and it was my birthday, and I've always felt very special having my birthday on Valentine's Day. People seem to find that very special. And because I'm packing, I pulled out this. Now, I don't know if Dottie is tuned in. Hi, Mix. Dottie is my dear friend from New York. She was my first commercial agent in New York. And we have been great friends since 1983. And she is the finest needle worker that I know. And she sent me this a while ago for another birthday. But isn't it beautiful? Look at that. And I have not gotten framed because I just get too carried away doing stuff and I don't get things like that done. And that is going to be framed and put into my apartment. Now, where was I? Dolly, I hope I answered your question. I can't go into too much detail about all the particulars, but leaving is not my choice. It's been thrust upon me and I am trying to make the best of it. And when I have funds available from the sale of this house, I hope to be able to buy a place in Tennessee. And and Daryl is in Tennessee and he's keeping an eye out. So is Denise. Is Denise on today, Daryl? I've just been talking. Oh my gosh, we have a person from Turkey here. Icy Ilse. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. When I first started blogging in 2012, I was blogging with a gal named Dallas Dyson from England. And she wrote all of these blogs about going to Turkey. And I just became fascinated with Turkey, just reading her blog. I don't know if you answered me, Roman, but where are you writing from? Let's see. Let me scroll down. Mix, I hope you're doing well. Okay, so I pronounced it right, but what did I say? Oh, did I say, oh, Dallas? I hope I said, hi, Sky King. Texas, good day. Oh. Thank you, Christina. I mentioned you earlier. I don't know if you just started, but I just mentioned you. Hi, Paul. From Australia. Paul, how is it in Australia? You know, we over here are so concerned about the fires and the climate crisis affecting Australians and all the literally billions of animals that have been lost. Thank you, Dolly. I don't know. What are we talking about, Daryl? You had a big lightning thing? Good morning, Lisa Lee. Jack wants me in Maryland. You know, I have friends in Maryland besides you, Jack. And And I also have my dear friend in Delaware, and I do want to get back up there. Hey, Garcia, Charlie Baby, Emily in Chile, Michigan. Lisa, if you have anything to do with it, this will be my best year yet. Thank you so much for your support. I can't tell you. Daryl is saying cursive is the new senior citizen secret code, but the problem is we lose our ability to see. This is my problem with my mother. She has, among other things, she has macular degeneration, so she can no longer write and she can no longer read. And so I'm going to be going back and let's see. Thank you, Tony. Let's see. What did I miss? Okay. Thank you, Haffy, for reminding everybody to do this. Yeah, the only thing about Daryl is I can't get him to text. Hey, Gina, good morning. Okay. Gina's asking if she missed the big news. Hi, Dee. Thank you. I appreciate that. So there are a couple things I forgot to mention on that refrigerator video that if you watched this morning, and because someone left a comment and pointed out that the top freezer is so inconvenient because you use that far less than you use the actual compartment of the regular compartment of a refrigerator. But in doing I really, really tried to find a bottom freezer, trust me. But I kept running into it's more energy efficient to have it on the top. So you burn more energy if it's on the bottom. And also, these little ones, very few had them in the bottom. And so I couldn't find one. This was the only one I could find that fit those criteria. I just want it to kind of disappear there in the corner and not take up a lot of space and just be sleek and white. And, in lieu of getting a period refrigerator, a vintage refrigerator, which I just found impossible. I made phone calls. People didn't call me back. I didn't, got some of them got bad reviews. You got to read reviews. However, I should have said that particular model of the refrigerator. Everybody, in case you don't know, I'm talking about the video that I uploaded this morning. I review my new refrigerator at my apartment, and I'm just taking off these gloves. By the way, this is getting a little bit better. Look, I can do that a little bit. And what was I saying? The refrigerator. I don't know. Let's see. What does Tony say? I hope you get your permanent. Well, Tony, it is incredibly frustrating to be in limbo, and I'm in more limbo than I reveal here. It's not just the limbo of where I'm going to be living and stuff. Because of the situation that I'm in. Good morning, Eric. So yeah, I really, limbo is a hard place to be in because I want to celebrate my independence, and I want to make what's ahead of me, which is, you're on your downward slope. Forget about it. You're on your downward slope after 50. So I want to make the best, not that I am, I just had my 49th birthday again, but you just want to make your last year's your best. But when you're, right now I am standing on a rocker board. You can see me rocking. I'm doing that to reset my proprioceptor nerves, which my chiropractor recommended after I sprained my ankle. He was pointing out, and I think if you missed that live stream, I talked about this before, Hey, Matt. I'm so glad you joined. Where are you writing from, Matt? DeGuyer. Where are you writing from? Your proprioceptor nerves are how you know where your body is in space. And it's interesting because I just had a conversation with Celine, who's my young helper that's been helping me do everything from designing my late bloomer t-shirts to helping me with the calendar planners. Lisa, I don't have those pulled out. You can download free calendar planners from my website. Just go to latebloomershow.com and type in calendar planner in the search window, and you can download, well, January's done, but you can download February and March. The rest of the months are designed, but I don't have them on the website. Lisa, we gotta talk again. What I want to do is, Lisa suggested I get all of the calendar planners onto Google Drive and to Google Documents so anybody can download those. And so that's what I need to do now, because otherwise then I have to get my website guy to do it, and it's, cost me money and all that. So let me just grab those while we're talking about it. Now, I don't know if you've seen April, but isn't it beautiful? This is one of my first red cabbages from 2012 that I photographed, and we put it on here. This is April. So you can download these. We've got the moons here and all the holidays, and you can write your notes in here. My links are down here. And you can just plan. If you like to plan on calendars, then please plan on the Late Bloomer Show calendar. And the only trips that I have is I'm going to Nashville. By the way, my sister got very sick just suddenly. Well, I shouldn't say that. She ran into a door frame. She has a lot of health issues. She ran into a door frame and hit her head and got a concussion. And they thought she was getting better. And then she woke up like a week ago or something, and she couldn't say anyone's name. She couldn't say her own kids' names and stuff. So they rushed her to Nashville, to the hospital, and they gave her every test. She did not have a stroke. Thank God. They think it was an infection. In addition to the brain swelling from the concussion. Anyway, she's better. She's back in the hospital at home. So I'm going to go to Nashville. I was already planning to go to Nashville because I have a reunion, a sorority reunion. Yay! The 29th and 30th in Nashville. And I'm going to see my mother and my sister. So it's going to be a real quick trip. And literally, timeline-wise, I'm giving myself the goal of having everything that I can move in my car. My Prius is amazing. I mean, now that I have the Prius, I really wish I had a pickup truck. I really do. Yesterday, I was just telling Jack this, and I can't believe I forgot to photograph this. This is not me, but we were rushing. Eric and I were rushing. And we packed my apple tree in the back of my Prius. And it's so weird. The hatchback, of course, I didn't notice this. You don't notice things until you need them. My old Prius had a hook at the top, and you could put a bungee cord to the bottom. There is no hook up there unless there's something I'm missing. And Eric had to rig up this rope around the hatchback and hold it down, and it was flopping. Anyway, the 15-gallon pot went in first, and then it's Esplanade. My apple tree is Esplanade, Golden Dorset, and it's blooming. We got it over there, and it is over there, along with my kaffir lime, or kefir kaffir lime, and my Kishu mandarin. That's tiny, that's little. But my friend has already gone out and bought 2 green pots to pot them up. And we are going to do a video, and she's going to talk about roses because that's her specialty. She must have 20 big pots of roses out there. And I am going to pot up my 3 trees. I'm also hoping, I don't know how, I cannot move this in my car. I have a ceramic pot that weighs a ton. And in that, I have my calamine lime and some cardamom growing. And I want to move that as well, along with some, a lot of small pots and succulents and things. So there's a lot more to do, but I'm going to try to move everything that's not involved in the staging, which means all the art and furniture and piano, they stay. Well, everything else I'm going to try to get moved before I leave for Tennessee. And then when I get back, I'm going to move the piano first, and then I'm going to have my furniture moved with a mover. Let's see. IVH. If you're talking to my sister, no, all that was ruled out. No tumor. Hi, Mernita. Good morning. New Jersey, Callie Gardner and family. Hello. Good morning. Utah, Matt. Thank you. Tony, it would almost be worth moving to Manchester just so that everyone would call me Hun. I love it. Everyone calls everybody Hun, like honey. And I just think it's so precious. Tony at UK, here we grow, calls me Hun too. And I just love it. I would love to visit Wigan. I really would. You got 2 prime plots. Now, do you... Yeah, well, you obviously own them. Let's see. Good morning, Rebecca from Food Forest next door. Yeah, she wants me in Louisville. Louisville is my favorite place in Kentucky, although the people in Ashland are wonderful too. They don't, Tony. Citrus does not grow in Tennessee. However, if I go to Tennessee, I'm going to have a greenhouse and I am going to grow citrus. Okay, that's like mandatory. Eric is saying, and I'm assuming this is to reply to Jack. That he recommends a true dwarf or columnar apple for a large pot. Well, Eric, this, as you probably know, that apple was trained as Esplanade. Espalier. Why do I always say that? I always mix those two up. It's not Esplanade. That's a walkway. Espalier. It's like a fan shape. So, which is great because this is a corridor with plants and you can't have too much growing this way. But are you saying that eventually my golden Dorset is not going to be happy in a pot? Eric? Mernita, if you're asking about a U-Haul for taking the, I just had the 1 tree. I mean, yeah, sure. I could rent a U-Haul for 1 weekend and take a whole bunch of stuff over, but it's not ready. And I have to keep everything nice and ready at a moment's notice for the house to be shown. It's not right now. And I have an open house at 1:00 today. So what I've been doing, because I have so much stuff, we have just been doing 1 carload at a time, and that's been working well for me. It's what I can handle. And I did hire a U-Haul truck when I moved a bunch of stuff into my storage space, and I haven't even been back over there. Haven't even been over there. All that's to deal with. But anyway, I drove a flatbed truck, a Home Depot flatbed truck this past week or a week ago, and it was not fun. I mean, I felt like, I can handle this, but my gosh, the gas, it takes so much gas. I have a Prius, and I thought, I'm only driving 10 miles each way. But I had to put something like, to replace the gas, it was something like I paid $20. I go, what? That truck just sucked up the gas. Mernita, my mailing address is Post Office Box 1602, Pacific Palisades, 2 words, California 90272. Oh, that's fantastic, Gina. Gina is saying she just bought a heating mat and a seed dome and some cocoa coir. And she's going to be starting seeds. And of course, my friend Luis down in Long Beach has everything already going. And the only thing I've done is grow some sprouts. Now, I grew sprouts in that Nordamark channel that was sent to me from Sweden. And I told him that because I had put it together with I had put that footage together in that Nordamark with, things about my kitchen and moving and stuff. So I'm just going to take those clips, those initial clips of when I set up the Nordamark, and I went over and I shot a follow-up, and I'm going to put that in a standalone video, and then he's going to share that. So hopefully that'll really help my channel. I hope so. And Gina wants me in North Carolina. I need to be cloned, and if we could get me cloned, can we get me cloned at 49? Because I had a lot more energy back then. Yes, Tony and Tony. Yes, orangeries. I've heard that. Yeah, I mean, you can. I saw a video of a guy in, what state was he in? An older gentleman, and this video has really been around. I'm sure everybody has seen it. How he's growing citrus in a big greenhouse tunnel out back of his property, and he's got massive trees. It's unbelievable. Hello, I'm Japanese. Fantastic. What is your name? Can you spell your name in English so that we can say hello to you? Yes, half of you already did that. Let's see. Eric, that's the best way to put it. Yeah. That's so funny. You're talking about trampoline frames. And Tony, you're talking about trampoline, making a polytunnel build out of recycled trampoline frames. And I was just talking to Jack Davis this week at Epic Yard Farm 2.0 in Tempe, Arizona, which is the valley, the Phoenix Valley. And she was saying that, her husband is this very creative welder. That's his hobby, welding. And he makes all this amazing iron pieces for her plants to grow on and everything. And so he was going to be creating, I think it was a greenhouse or a tunnel or something out of trampoline frame. She was just telling me this like a day or two ago. Maybe it was yesterday. And so I'm going to be there at the end of March, and I'll be able to bring that to you. Gina, you're so sweet. Brian. Okay, Mernita is asking about her mock orange has not bloomed. Any advice? Good morning, Dottie. Thank you for pointing that out. I wanted to just point out the lovely flowers I got for my birthday. Dottie, I don't know if you just tuned in, but I was just showing everyone, my wonderful friend, the needle pointer, has just tuned in, and I was just showing them this amazing Valentine that you needle pointed and sent to me. It doesn't seem like that long ago, but Dottie said, oh, I sent that ages ago, and I've never gotten it framed, but I'm going to in my new place. Trust me, I've got all of your creations together, and I'm going to do that. Yes, so let me tell you about the flowers for my birthday. These are orchids. This is from Celine and Chris. Celine is my intern, and Chris is my very dear friend, her mother. And you kind of need to see these up close because they're such a gorgeous, look at the gorgeous color. It's like a lime green. I don't think I've ever seen one quite like that. And I don't know if this is backwards to you, but it says happy birthday. But these are gorgeous. And then tulips from my neighbor's Dena. And then I got this amazing rose. Check out this rose. I've never seen anything like this. This is made of real rose, and it's dipped in a 63-step process and then tipped in 24-karat gold. And it will last longer than I will. And look how beautiful. Under here, these are green and tipped in. I just think it's the most amazing thing. And I'm not someone who shops for unique gifts, and look, it even has the thorn on there. But that is amazing, and I am grateful to all of my, and I have a wonderful card here. I did post this on Instagram, and I have to read this. He doesn't tune into my channel, and he's not big on social media, so he actually writes in beautiful, look at that, beautiful cursive. We've been friends forever, and all of the adventures we had when we were young. We almost got killed in Mexico. That's a story for another day. With this card, hi Kaye, with this card I'm sending you best wishes and hugs of affection for a birthday and Valentine's Day combo. I know you have a busy month with lots of significant time and attention consuming events included that don't promise to add to your enjoyment of life, but I hope that on February 14th at least, you will pause to relax and savor the knowledge that you are loved and appreciated by more than just a few of us out here. I truly believe you have some wonderful time ahead of you, and that you will live it and enjoy it to the fullest. Love always, Dawn. And you know, I have so many friends like that. Oh, I forgot to mention that Connie sent me these lovely seeds. And these Nigella seeds are very popular growing in England. And when I was in England, I actually got some of these, but the one I got was like almost black. It was a dark, dark maroon color, and darker than that. And I grew them That would have been in 17. And I think they came back in 18, and then they didn't come back again. Let's see. I am very behind on comments. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Deborah says her dogs eat her orchids. That would really make me mad. Oh my God, it's Tori from Columbus, South Carolina. How are you doing, Tori? It is Permaculture Homestead. I don't know if you guys watch. I actually put together a permaculture playlist. It's not long. I think it's 4 or 5 videos. But Tori, I hope you watched that video of that permaculture paradise down in San Diego. I did that. Well, I shot it in November. I'm not exactly sure when I uploaded it, but it's been since then. And oh, my shoulder was broken. Let's see. Oh, I forget the timeline of my injuries, but no, wasn't it my knee that was bad when I was with you? And Tori works with his day job is doing like a physician's assistant for functioning. And Tori, tell me exactly what you call that. And his wife is a ballet dancer. She teaches ballet. They both danced ballet, which, I love culture and I love the arts. And so that just, it was just, other than that sweltering heat, Tori, I had a great time at your place. Thankfully, he has air conditioning. And Tony's talking about polytunnels, and let's see. These are going to be gorgeous, and I just have to figure out, maybe in my corridor, I'll just put a seed in each one of those pots. The good thing about the corridor was, I didn't realize this, but I posted a picture of the corridor where I'm, let's see. Oh, well, it's going to be hard to find. But anyway, there's a walkway between the 2 buildings, and there's pots all the way up and down. And it turns out that most of those pots are my friends and a couple of other people. So it's not like, I have to deal with 25 people going, ooh, don't touch my pot, or something like that. And some of the pots, it's an apartment building. People have moved on and they left them. So of course, I have every intention of taking over as much as I possibly can there. Riceville, Tennessee, Sandra Westfield. I don't know where Riceville is, actually. What is that flying around? I haven't seen a bug in here in months. Cover cloth. I always say, Gina's asking about cover cloth. And depending on what you're growing, I like to use voile, which is something you buy at the fabric store. And you see my red voile. I use red because I like red. It comes in green and white, and it's like the same fabric. It's nylon netting that you use for petticoats or anything like that. And they have thicker and stronger weaves. I like to use that because you can see through it and you can water straight through it. Whereas cover cloth, once you really cover up your plants with that cover cloth, you can't water through that. I mean, and you can't see. So once you get everything tied down, and I tried this with brassicas, I had everything tied down. I'm going, well, what's going on under there? I don't know what's going on under there. I can see it. So that's why I like voile. It's probably more expensive. But for an urban garden, I think it's prettier. And for me, it works better. Oh, fantastic. Tori, this is the first live stream he's joined, and I'm so glad you did, Tori, because I have a wonderful group of people, and they're almost everybody is a regular here. Gina's in North Carolina. Little Farmers Farm is in Manchester, England. Mernita, I forgot where you are. Sandra is Riceville, Tennessee. Let's see who else. And of course, we have John Haffenacker, one of our moderators, is in Colorado. And Jack Redden is a young gardener meteorologist in Maryland. Did he leave? Christina is in Northern California. She's a teacher and she loves my channel. Double Dog Farm is in San Juan Island and has a big spread up there, and he knows a great deal about almost everything to do with gardening. And Daryl, of course, is in Tennessee. Food Forest Next Door is in Louisville. She's a scientist, teaches science at the Kentucky Science Center. And Deborah, I forgot where you are, Deborah. And Jamela is in Trinidad and Tobago. She is off to a bridal shower, so she's signed off. Mernita's in Buffalo. Ooh, it's got to be cold there. It's got to be very cold. What else did I want to talk about? TMJ. I put that on my thing. It would seem that I have TMJ, everybody, which is kind of why I'm talking like this and not opening my mouth too much. Has anybody had luck with TMJ? I went to a chiropractor, and he adjusted this by using this vibrating machine that, zzz, all around. And when I got to back here, I have a friend who is deaf in one ear, and she had an implant at one time, and those cochlear implants for deafness, they go right behind the ear because I think that's the most vibration anywhere around the ear is like right back here. So this is where they actually put those implants, the cochlear implant. And she had an implant, and she actually couldn't stand it, and she had it taken out. But when he got that vibrating thing, he was going around it. There's a series of muscles that go up like that, and then there's a series of muscles that fan around the ear, he was telling me. And when he got back there and he hit that spot where the vibration is the greatest from the audio nerve, I said, whoa, stop. No, I couldn't take it. I thought I was going to like faint or fall over or something. So I can just imagine, you get that implant and you hear something for the first time, and it's probably like a vibration, and who knows how close it comes to the real sound. I don't know, but anyway, who has had luck with TMJ? Because this thing has been dragging on. Good morning, Michael. Oh, that's good, Mernita. Good. Michael and Mernita, well, you're close. Michael's in Niagara Falls and Mernita is in Buffalo. So you guys aren't too far apart. Okay. Yeah. Jack Davis at Epic Yard Farm posts almost everything on Instagram. She does make some videos, but she doesn't have an active channel. She's too busy with her life and her husband and having fun and growing a garden. What is EDS, Rebecca? I mean, I've always had tinnitus. That's different. This thing is like, I just yawned too big, or I bit down on something too hard and it popped, and I thought, oh well, no big deal. Tomorrow it'll be gone. No, it's just been going on for like 3 weeks. So, oh, you're going, Eric? Okay, take care. Bye. Thank you for tuning in. I know Michael is moving to Ashland. It's amazing. When you do, Michael, you have to connect with Judy Fanning. She is so amazing. And I know you saw that video. And I can put you in touch with her once you move. Oh, so it never went away, Deborah? Is it only on one side? Mine's only on one side. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is a connective tissue disorder, affects tendons and ligaments. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So that's totally you got that from a completely. You're welcome, Michael. Absolutely. I want to connect anybody I can. That's why I do these live streams. I want to connect people. I don't want to just go, hey, look at my beautiful garden. I want to be out there. That's the reason I did my trips to the Southeast, and I went to Mobile, and I went to see Tori in Columbia, South Carolina, and I went to see Lizzie Lou at Lizzie Lou's family farm outside of Wilmington, North Carolina. And if you're active on Instagram and you haven't been following Lizzie Lou, I highly recommend it. She takes great Instagram pictures, and she has 2 twin girls they're identical, blonde, and they are growing up on the farm. And I mean, when I was there, I saw this pile of red ants on the ground, and I mean the fire ants on the ground, and she was telling me that they use a blowtorch to kill them, and I'm going, and then I see these pictures of these beautiful angelic little girls running around barefoot all the time, and every time I see that I go, fire ants. But no, they are really, I've been using CBD on this, but it hasn't really helped that much. Oh, darn it. Thank you, Hakimi. Do you have fire ants, Haffy? Let me see if there was, well, if anybody else has any suggestions for TMJ. I did that. I just want to know, guys, is anybody on Pinterest? Is anybody still doing that? I've got a pop-up here. I was just going to ask you guys, because I've got 2 new follows, and I rarely post anything on there. I never understood how to use it. I don't have time to look at, boards and create boards and all that stuff. So I don't even know if there's any reason for me to be on there. I just posted some of my content on there. And I want to give a shout out to, if anybody has a suggestion for me, maybe Lisa does. Also, I want to give a shout out to anyone who is on Patreon, who is supporting this channel. I've got a handful of people, and I completely seem to ignore them, and I want to give them a huge shout out, because I know we're supposed to do special things for people who support the channel, and I just find that it's taking all my time to do what I do. So I appreciate anybody who is willing to commit $5 or $10 or $20 or whatever dollars a month to support this channel. So thank you very much. And hopefully someday I'll be so successful I can get some help and more help. Ooh, Gina has fire ants too, dear. Oh, I see. Rebecca is the calendar girl, and she's also the Pinterest girl. So Rebecca, we're going to have to talk. You do not get rid of fire ants, Kevin? Is that what you're saying? Oh, yeah. So Diana, this TMJ thing happened all of a sudden. It's really going to cut into my singing. Okay, so Tori has an ice massage the muscles around your TMJ daily. Take an anti-inflammatory and then do range of motion exercises for your jaw. Okay, so it seems like when I do a range of motion, then it pops. So I've kind of been avoiding that, Tori. You're saying ice it daily? I was thinking that since this has been going on for 3 weeks, I should be using heat. So since it's such a weird, small little area to put heat on, and I don't have an electric heating device, I was just putting Tiger Balm on here, and that heats it up for a little while. Oh, I see. Well, she uses a blowtorch, Kevin, for her fire ants. She was kind of embarrassed to tell me that, but let's see. So, Faithful Diana, you're saying this happened to your granddaughter all of a sudden. The yes is for that question. Did it happen all of a sudden? Because mine did. Drink the CBD oil. Okay. Slow pain, tolerable vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Slow pain, tolerable. I'm not sure what slow pain, tolerable, what you're saying. Are fire ants the same as leaf cutter ants? I do have arnica. Arnicare. I do have that, and I also have CBD oil. This is California, so it's everywhere. And I have used that too. But the thing is, it's right now it's not like aching or anything. It's just limiting me. Okay. The pop will relieve the pressure and the pain will cease after the pop. So encourage the pop? Ah. When I open it wide, it hurts right there. As if I don't have enough to worry about. Tori, did you hear that I'm standing on a rocker board? When I got it, the chiropractor recommended it after I sprained my ankle. He says, when you sprain your ankle, you need to reset your proprioceptor nerves. And obviously you're a dancer, you know all about that. And so does your wife. And Celine was the young girl that's been helping me. I used to photograph her. Her mother had me photograph her when she was doing ballet. And so we were talking about it in the car, and she said she felt like she didn't have strong proprioceptor nerves because, to really be a dancer that can, or for example, a high dive, high diving board diver. What do you call that? Or a ice dancer, or a figure skater. You got to know where your body is at all times to land on those blades. Oh my gosh. Or to go into that water just like that, like a pencil. And I don't think I was ever really, really, really strong at that. And Celine was saying she didn't either, but she never really felt like she was going to be a professional dancer. She was using it to help her get into college, and to also just to help her. It's just great for young people to have something to do besides just hang out, with your friends and possibly get in trouble. So it was great for my son Walker to be in tennis, because there was no question. It was before school, after school, every weekend, every holiday he was at a tournament, or he was on Okay. So Deborah takes CBD oil, it does not work. Heartburn. You don't, so Deborah, yours went away or your heartburn went away? Yes, that's what I'm doing. So Tori, as long as we're talking about brands of CBD oil, you guys, you know, I'm a Young Living representative, and Young Living has CBD products now. All of their products are made 100% from hemp, so that they can be available to any state in the country. If your CBD is made from marijuana, it's, you know, you can only legally sell that in states where marijuana is legal, like California. But I have CBD oil. I'm going to go get it. Okay. I just went around the corner really fast. And, you know, when you go around the corner really fast, you have to grab the door frame. And I grabbed the door frame with my hand. So now it's hurting. I've been wearing my hand brace for weeks. Here's the CBD. This is Joint and Muscle Balm. And I love this because it's, it doesn't get too hard in the refrigerator. Now I just put arnica on there. I also have CBD oil, and I'm going to take some of that. Maybe that helps too. That is so good because we have essential oils in it, and it tastes like spearmint. Ooh, that's fantastic, Tony. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. So, Michael, is marijuana legal in New York? I would imagine it is, but I don't know actually. And I haven't taken any pills. But gymnastics, Tony, is a great. It's any sport, but gymnastics is it's your personal best. I like sports that are more, you know, because when I grew up, there were no options. I was in a small town. The absolutely only option, well, there was no way to go anywhere with sports for women. But in high school, I played on a softball team in the summer, which was just, you know, a league for fun. And then in school, I was on the basketball team. But I was very, very, very skinny. I was like 10 pounds lighter than I am now. I was all bones. And I was very fast, though. But, you know, if the coach decides to put a team together, and this is what happened to Walker at Stanford, is the coach really decides how to put the team together. And if he feels it's going to be stronger with this combination of girls, then you sit on the bench. And that's what I did for way too long. And I said, heck with this, I'm going to join the drama club. So that's what I did. I joined the drama club, and actually, but I told my parents I was going to be an artist when I was 5 years old. And I was always involved in art, and I learned to sew, and I painted hundreds of paint by numbers until I learned to in college, I actually learned to draw. And So when I went to college, I studied art. And then when I got out of college, I decided to be an actor and go back into acting. So the whole gardening thing is just a part of my life process. Dottie, I don't know if you're still on, but Dottie has followed my life process since 1983. In 1980, I moved to New York. We moved to New York, and I started doing some print work. I got a print agent, started doing some commercial print work, where you dress up like a nurse or a mom or a young mom or a doctor or a business person, and you're in all these ads, print ads. And then I finally got my first national commercial in 1983 after I heard that one of the big agencies, Cunningham, 3 agents were leaving Cunningham and starting their own business. And I thought, this is the time to seize on getting a good commercial agent before they get a full roster of people. Once an agency, a small agency gets a big roster, then it's harder to take more people in because they got to service the people they've already signed. And I went down, I jumped on that, and I went down, and they were literally setting up their offices and installing the toilet in the office the day that I went there. And we signed, and that year I got my first national commercial for Scope mouthwash. And I also got a national commercial for Oil of Olay and a number of others. And that first year I got 10 spots. It was amazing. I had a lot of commercials running. And so why am I talking about that? I don't even remember. How did all that come up? Happy's talking about golden milk. I bought some golden milk the other day. It was already made up, and it's like turmeric and almond milk and something. I did not like the taste of it at all. And yes, I know turmeric is fantastic. And I moved all of my spices to my storage unit. And so I don't know how all of this is going to get sorted. I just feel like it's going to be boxes from the floor to the ceiling in every room in that apartment. I don't know. Oh, I know. Because Dottie was one of those agents, those 3 agents, and Dottie has seen my journey, my life journey through it all. And the gardening has just been my latest version of my art. Because, I worked with limited resources, but I tried to make my garden as artistic as possible. And it became more and more and more a jungle. And once I went to see Tori, are you still there? Once I saw Tori in South Carolina, I saw he had a real jungle. Of course, I went in July when it's the most lush and hot and humid and everything else. But his goji berries and his what was I growing that you were growing? It's called spinach, but it's not spinach. Perpetual spinach. I think he was growing all kinds of things, all kinds of berries, and it was just wild. Wow, Jamela, we were there at exactly the same time. I went in 80 and I left in 88. And when I lived in New York, I said I would never leave. I came from a small town in Tennessee, and when I got to New York City, it was stinky, and it's been cleaned up a lot since I lived there, a lot. But there's just something about the vibe of being in New York, and if you're an actor, you can go to if you had the money, you could go to the theater every single night. How can you patent turmeric root? Go to Cola Centella Asiatica. I guess that's good for inflammation, Hakimi. You know, I think I have something with curcumin in my cabinet in there. I think I'm taking something with curcumin in it. And there's so many, Tony. There's so many. I mean, I'm not, by the way, I'm not recommending any medical advice to anyone. I'm just through my live streams, we're just sharing information, and everybody can do their own research, decide what's right for them. And let's see. Oh my gosh, Jamila worked for the Trinidad and Tobago mission to the United Nations. Fantastic. Oh, longevity spinach. There's also one called perpetual spinach. I wonder if that's the same thing. When I took a turmeric, I think you're leaving out the R, Haffy. It's turmeric. But anyway, I took a turmeric and black pepper combo for inflammation for a while, and I'm out of that, and I should probably get that. But Tori, is this inflammation in the TMJ, or is it just out of alignment? I was thinking it's just out of alignment, and it needs to be back into alignment. Chrysanthemum tea, I've never heard that. Chrysanthemum tea also helps with inflammation. You know, inflammation is the cause of most diseases. And so if we can A, stop consuming things that cause inflammation, and then B, take supplements and eat foods that reduce inflammation, we'd be so much better off. And Tony, I was just talking to my dad, took concentrated cherry juice as well. Great for gout too. Oh, I bet it is. Oh, okay, I am correct. Okay, tart cherry. Okay. I was talking to, I have a very good friend who's from England. In fact, it's the husband of the friends that I'm going to be living beside. And they took me out for my birthday dinner. And he was telling me that he has tried for years and years and years to get his mother, who is obese, to change her habits. And she will say, but he said she's English, and it's like this thing in England, you just sort of accept. It's not only England, because in the South, well, of course, a lot of Southerners have Scotch-Irish English heritage, including me. And they just sort of accept what they get, rather than making life changes that would actually improve the quality of their life. They just go, okay, well, this is what I've got, you know, and I could talk about that all day. Anyway. Processed anything, Mernita. If we could all give up for 5 years, from 2000 to 2005, I gave up all processed food. I didn't have a single chip, anything. Unless it was a whole food, I didn't eat it. And most of my consumption was raw. And I do eat dairy, and I ate a lot of raw dairy, green juice, and I won't say what else. But anyway, I I didn't take a single aspirin or anything. Now I was younger, so that helps. But I didn't take anything for 5 years. Not a Tylenol, nothing, and really felt healthy. But it's a huge commitment, because if you go see somebody, if you go visit somebody, they've got pizza or chips or snacks or pie. It's really hard. It's hard, and you go, well, you want to enjoy your life, you want to have some treats here and there, but if you can just, I think what is it they say on one of those food movies? I think it's Jeffrey Smith says, I think I heard him say this at the National Heirloom Expo. It's like, if there's more than 5 ingredients or more than 7 ingredients, don't eat it. Or if there's more, on the label, or if there's anything you can't pronounce on the label, don't eat it. Or if there's anything that says natural flavors or natural colors or natural fragrance, don't eat it. Don't buy it. Just don't buy it. That's the best way to keep from eating processed food, is just don't buy it. Easy for me to say because I'm just shopping for one now. But I was always that way. My children were completely deprived. They were completely deprived of junk food. And my son, to this day, Walker, has never had a soda. Now, part of that is because he was an athlete, and part of that is he doesn't like the feel of carbonation in his mouth, and he's never had a cup of coffee, and he's never had any iced tea or anything with caffeine in it, which is just so hard to believe, because at the same time he was going to high school, everybody down at his high school was going to Starbucks before school and walking into school with a big thing from Starbucks. And down here at the high school, you see all these kids up in the village after high school, and they're all going to get coffees, and iced coffees, and this thing and that thing. And, a lot of these kids are really caffeined up. And not only that, but they're also, EMFs from cell phones, so I don't know where it's all going to wind up. I really don't. But anyway, guys, I have been talking for almost an hour and a half, and Hakimi, that's right, Gina, the more you can get rid of processed foods, the better. That's fantastic. That's fantastic, Tony, that they eat raw kale voluntarily. That's probably because you're growing it, and they see the effort that it takes to grow food, and they appreciate that. And if they're growing up with an appreciation for homegrown food, that they're going to share that, they're going to spread that. They're going to spread that to wives and children and friends. And that's what we have to do, is we have to encourage all of our young people in any way we can to appreciate where food comes from. And if you can't grow it yourself, then maybe you can partner with someone who can help you. And that's what I'm trying to do for Late Bloomer Garden 2.0 in Los Angeles. Now, I hope to have, I don't know, can I have 2.0s? I would like to have Late Bloomer Garden 2.0 on a property in Tennessee. And then have a garden here, because a lot of people were writing this morning and going, I don't understand. Why are you going to an apartment? Why aren't you going to a bigger property? And just to recap, it's too expensive to buy a property here. So I'm not going to be able to own a property. And anyway, I have to move before the funds are available from this house. So I have to have a landing place. That's an apartment. Apartments are expensive to rent. Houses are expensive to rent. It's just very expensive here. And so everyone says, leave California. Okay, that's a good thought. That's a good suggestion. And I'm trying to balance my desire to continue to be an actor with my next phase in my life. How do I balance that? Because if I leave Los Angeles and I don't go back to New York, where am I going to go? Yes, there's a lot of production in Atlanta. I do have a friend in Atlanta. I would love to be near that friend and her two daughters, and she also has a dance studio, and I would love to learn to ballroom dance. But Atlanta, and all my family's in Tennessee. I've got nieces and nephews and numerous. My mother has 9 grandchildren, and I forget how many great grandchildren she has now. Let's see, it's 2, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it's at least 13 grandchildren. I may be missing somebody. So they're all in Tennessee, except for my brother, who is literally over the southwestern border of Virginia in Abingdon. So it just makes more sense to be close to Nashville, because there is some work in Nashville. They're not making movies there like they are in Atlanta, but there is some work, and there is a big theater center there. So that's a possibility. Because, I just don't feel like I worked this hard and I stuck around this long to just leave. I don't want having to move from my house to change everything about my life. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now, and I'm so appreciative that you guys care and that you're following my journey, and sending me love and well wishes, and I send them back to you, and I thank you. So I want you to have a wonderful week. Thank you, Hakimi. Thank you, Mernita. Tina. Hi, Tina. I was just getting off in Central Florida. You got to connect with Big Wave FLA. That's Kevin in Florida. Anyway, snow of a gun. Why this weekend? Wait, why this weekend? Because today's Sunday. Why does it need to be this weekend? Snow of a gun says we got to feed our citrus this weekend. And yesterday, one last thought. Yesterday, my friend who has all the roses, who's making room for my pots over there. She went, because we were moving. Eric was helping me in the apartment yesterday. He was putting together a big bookshelf. There is this bookshelf, literally, that I had in my New York apartment in 1981. And it's not attractive. It's made out of 2x2 pine with pine shelves, and it's been varnished, it's a tan stain and then a varnish over it. This was built in our New York apartment and sitting there as a room divider. And when we moved to this house, it went into the garage to just stack boxes in the garage. And I was looking at that the other day, and I thought, maybe I could use that in my storage unit, because in your storage unit, you got boxes that are stacked up like this. And by the time you get to the 6th box, they're all compressing the first 2 or 3 boxes. And it would be so nice to be able to have at least a few boxes up off the floor. So I said to Eric, Eric, while I'm gone, can you take that off the wall? Because we had screwed it onto the wall so it wouldn't tip over in an earthquake. And so I get back, and he's completely disassembled it. And I'm going, okay, I just wanted it off the wall because I thought, well, I can move that with the movers. Anyway, he took it all apart. And so I was thinking, I could use that in my apartment, paint it white, and it would kind of disappear, and I could put a lot of boxes on there until I can sort through stuff. It's going to take me months to sort through everything. And so much deliberation yesterday, and we just decided that we didn't have the time to paint it. And so he was putting that together, and he was also, the shelves in my apartment, they were, the boards didn't fit properly, and they were like loose, and I could just imagine taking a box down and having some, you know, 1x plank of 1x4 or 3 wood, you know, hitting me in the forehead. And so I said, no. Okay, Eric, you've got to rebuild these shelves for me. So I went down, didn't realize how much this cost when I told them to cut it. You can get laminated pine. It's actually quite beautiful. Laminated pine, 16 inches wide. And they come in 8-footers. And I bought 2 of them. And he got 3 shelves for the closet out of those. And the 16-inch depth is so much better than the 1-footer, 12 inches. So anyway, he was building shelves and all that. And so my friend decided to go down to get potting soil, and she got me pots for those 3. She went ahead and bought me pots, plastic pots for green, for those 3 trees that I took down there, my apple tree and my 2 citrus trees. So she was saying she was going to get some citrus food, and you were just saying that we should feed the citrus this weekend. Who just said that? I've already lost it. Snow of a gun. It's not snow of a gun. It's SN of a gun. I once called my brother. I was very angry. I was called my brother a son of a gun. And my father was standing there, and he did not, let me just say, he did not appreciate that. Okay. Just thought I'd mention that since it's your Google name. But I'm wondering why we should feed citrus this weekend, because I am going over this afternoon, and I said, hey, I said to her, we could make a video. We can make our first gardening video over there, repotting the plants and feeding them. And I've got iron, and, hopefully I'll get that done today, along with a lot of other stuff. So, okay, safe journey, Sky King. Thank you, everybody. Is it the moon phase? Let's see. Where did I put my calendar? I can tell you what the moon phase is because I have it right here on my Late Bloomer calendar planner, which you can download for free at latebloomershow.com. Just put calendar planner in the little search window and it'll come right up. Actually, you can't get April. You can only get through March right now. Where's February? February. I should be growing cauliflower. It's today. Well, yesterday was half moon. So, Gina, I don't think that's it. But that's something else I want to learn more about. And you guys, I want to give a plug one more time to Sharon at Sharon's Natural Gardens in Delaware. She has a 5-acre family farm, and her daughter has cancer, and she's taking care of her there. And she's also trying to keep this going. She's got 2 horses. She's in her 70s, and she knows so much about tinctures and seeds and biodynamic agriculture. And she's a fount of knowledge. And she's got her, if you go to Sharon's Natural, just Google sharonsnaturalgarden.com. And she's got her products on Local Harvest, which is an ORG that supports small family farmers or gardeners, and you can offer, rather than having to have your own service. To the realtor is just texting me. Okay. Anyway, please support her because we need to support our, thank you, Tina. We need to support our people, our elders who have the knowledge to pass down. It needs to be passed down. She knows so much. I would love to just go and spend a year with her. I wouldn't have to have my own garden. I could just jump in and just start doing everything there and helping her. But, you know, Princess Luna Kasuma, thank you, Kusuma. Thank you for tuning in. Please go back and watch the whole thing because you missed most of it. All of it. Oh, Phoenix rules. Supposed to feed citrus on Valentine's Day, Memorial Day, and Labor Day. Okay. Well, we'll just do that this afternoon. What did Mernita's idea? Thank you, Tony. Donna Stelly. Yeah, what I find, Donna, in terms of the movie studios is, you know, just like Wilmington was a big place for a while, and then it shifted more to Atlanta. You know, I might move there and I might get one job in a whole year. And by moving there, then I leave all my friends and all my support system, and it's such a big decision, you know, because my brother keeps going, you can't retire in California, it's too expensive, which is true. But the thing is, actors don't ever retire. I mean, we just hope to just keep going. I mean, look at Orson Bean. You guys, did you hear about Orson Bean this past week? So Orson Bean had this incredible career, and he was just hit by a car and killed this past week at 91. He was, I heard, don't quote me, jaywalking across the road to go see his wife, who was in a play, and it was hit, and he was killed. And he had this most amazing career. And so he wasn't on stage, but he was headed to the stage. And I'm sure if he'd had his druthers, he would have had a heart attack or just passed away right on stage. And, you know, most actors just keep going until they can't. I mean, look at Judi Dench. She has macular degeneration. She can't read scripts anymore. And she is so in demand. She works all the time. So, but she has a lot of help. You know, people have to read her script. She has to memorize, and it's harder to memorize as you get older. And so, in fact, Meryl Streep had a really funny quote. One time she was being interviewed, and the interviewer said, I understand that you can just read a script one time and have it memorized. And she said, yes, but that was before menopause. So, you know, we age, we try to do our best. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out my next steps and trying to juggle everything and keep my channel going, because, you know, what I get from my subscribers is everything. You know, I get, it's just amazing. My friends and family are very supportive, but hearing from my subscribers and having their support is just amazing. And so keep it coming. You keep coming back, and I'll keep providing the content, and it will be as much gardening content as possible. By the way, I've had to kind of postpone because things have stepped up with the sale of the house. Like the realtor right now is just saying that I need to sign some documents right away. Since things have stepped up with that, I've had to just postpone. We'll get back to it. Postpone the Marina Del Rey project at Moira's house. And she says, I'm here when you need me. Don't worry, you know, get all that done and get moved, and then we'll start. And so that may be what we have to do. So anyway, thanks so much, everybody. Yes, it's so sad about Orson Bean. You know, and that happened, the same thing happened. And there's a little community theater very close to where I live, 3 blocks away, but that's a busy street there. And a couple that were regular subscribers were jaywalking across that 4-lane road to go into the theater. They parked on the side and they were walking across, and a young man in a big black shiny pickup truck ran them both down, and they got killed. So you got to be really careful with jaywalking. You know, I know it's a pain. Anybody who's ever lived in New York, you go, oh, I'm not walking all the way down to the corner to cross at the traffic light. I'm just going to walk across the street. But, you know, especially as you get older, you really need to go to the crosswalk. And you still need to look and be sure that no one's, you know, running the red light. Anyway, with that note, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for your support. I hope to bring you lots and lots and lots of great content. And the very next video will be the Nordimark video. And hopefully I'll shoot the potting up of the citrus today in our little corridor. We're trying to think of a great name. I could put that out to my communities. Like, when I show you this corridor, we're looking for a great name for the corridor of plants, potted plants. So thanks so much for your support. I love you all, and God bless you.